Let me ask you, have you ever walked in a room and for some reason you can't stop looking at a certain individual? You're simply drawn to him. You can't resist, it's like a magnet. That, my friend, is aura. It's undetectable by the eyes and ears. No, it's subconscious. It pulls you. It's an energy that you cannot resist. When you walk into a room, people feel your energy immediately. They are either reading weakness or power. You want to give off an aura that excites, that intrigues, and maybe even a little bit intimidates. LeBron James has aura. Conor McGregor, Keanu Reeves, Elvis Presley, aura. But these are just some examples of famous people that have aura, obviously, but normal people can have aura too. But I don't know the same people you know, so I can't give those examples. But let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was at the airport. I was walking into the airport and this guy gets out of a nice black SUV. He's dressed sharp, nice luxury clothing, Ray-Ban sunglasses, snow white hair. Perfect posture. I felt his presence immediately. The bag man, who takes your bag and, checks you in or whatever. And the man puts out his hand and greets him and shakes his hand. Then another worker, he goes and shakes his hand sternly too. I'm like, wow, this guy's giving respect to everyone. And it's so obvious everybody else respects him too. Who is he? I didn't think anything of it. But another person walking by said, hey, you know who that is? I said, no, who is it? He says, that's Neil McDonough. I didn't know who that was. I had to look him up, and then I realized, oh, I've seen this guy. He's a famous actor. He's in Desperate Housewives and various other shows. But without me even knowing who this individual was, I immediately understood his aura. Since that day, I was determined to figure out what creates this elusive aura, and since then, I've broken it down into 3 big things. This is the 3-headed dragon of aura, if you will. Number 1 is none other than presentation. How you present yourself to the world speaks volumes about you. Now, I could talk about this for hours. I have videos that compile to multiple hours of time if you want to go watch those. But the basic cold hard truth about how to actually style yourself, what to wear, is just don't be ordinary. Stand out, man. Find a style that makes you a little bit unique, whether it's skater boy style, streetwear, blue collar, or old money style, high-end luxury. Pick one and don't hold back, but pick one that is congruent with your personality. If you're a skater boy who says, bro and dog, I don't really recommend wearing high-end luxury clothing, right? It's incongruent. It'll make people not understand you. Now, I think the style that probably expresses aura the best is old money or high luxury, right? No, I don't like spending money on super high-end designer clothing, so when I had the idea to do this video, I reached out to a brand that I've worked with in the past, COOFANDY, and luckily they agreed to sponsor this video. I first found COOFANDY when I was in a pinch. It was my brother's wedding in a couple days, and I really needed a khaki blazer to fit my suit, right? So I found pretty much the exact blazer I was looking for on Amazon from the brand COOFANDY, and I ordered it. And it was at my door right in time just before I needed to leave for the wedding, and it looked amazing. They came in so clutch for me that I reached out to them and we ended up doing a sponsored video, and now we're working together again. If you want high-end luxury clothing for a fraction of designer brand pricing, look no further than COOFANDY. Right now I'm wearing the khaki quarter-button t-shirt. I look like I could be out on a yacht sipping martinis, right? But some of my other favorites are the light purple knit polo t-shirt. It looks so good, like you just finished a day out on the golf course. The pinstripe men's zipper polo shirt looks absolutely amazing. Looks as though if I actually owned one of these houses in Beverly Hills, not just doing a photo shoot there. And then of course the basic white Henley t-shirt. This looks good in pretty much any situation. I can't tell you how much difference you make when you just level up from a basic crew neck t-shirt to a white Henley with a couple buttons. It just makes you look so much more mature and sophisticated. I recommend to everybody at least have one white Henley. But anyways, COOFANDY is my go-to when I want some old money looking or high-end luxury looking clothing for a fraction of the price. It's comfortable. They have a huge array of different options, colorways, textures, fabrics, innovative designs. And it's available on Amazon, so you don't need to be punching in your credit card information on random websites. And of course, I got a deal, so you know what that means. You guys get a deal too. If you want the best deal possible, click the link down below and we'll get you hooked up with some COOFANDY. We'll get you the highest quality possible for the lowest price. Now, the next big pillar that goes into presentation, how you present yourself, is body language. This is the way of which you move about the world. I cannot stress enough how important it is to perfect this, or get as damn near close to perfection as possible. So what goes into body language? I could talk about this for hours, but the main things to remember: posture. Back straight, head up, chest out, shoulders back and down. It can help to imagine that there's a string attached from the back of your skull to your tailbone, and some imaginary person is pulling that tight, cinching up your back. Next is to adopt expansive body language. Move about the world freely. Don't be afraid to take up some space, whether you're walking, sitting, standing. So many people are so, supplicative and try not to take up space. It just exudes insecurity, right? Be the man who's not afraid to make his presence known. Now, don't be a douchebag man-spreading all over the place, but throw your leg over your knee, put your arm over that chair next to you. Just don't be afraid to let your presence be known respectfully. And the last big portion of body language is facial expression. We all hear about eye contact. It's very important to have confident eye contact, not be darting away from people as soon as they look at you. For instance, if you're looking at a girl, you're checking her out maybe, and she looks at you and catches you, instead of looking away like a scared little puppy, just hold eye contact, maybe smile, or at the very least, just slowly start looking at something else. Relax your eyebrows. We don't want to be looking like a prey out here, looking out for the predators, right? So by relaxing your eyebrows, you achieve that more predator or hunter style of eye expression. If you want to learn more about body language, I did a full 30+ minute video talking about this. I recommend checking that out, but you're definitely going to want to finish this video before you watch that. The next head of the aura dragon is mission. Everybody who has aura is on a mission in one regard or another. This means that you have a purpose, you have direction, and somewhere you're going. It gives a bigger meaning to everything that you do. When you see Conor McGregor saying this outlandish stuff, dressing crazy, you know it's because he has a bigger purpose. World champion, to prove all the haters wrong and prove himself right, Having this bigger purpose, this bigger meaning, gives every subtlety that you do, gives it justification. That's the difference between influencers and athletes or musicians, right? They're just held in a different regard. People don't find influencers to be that aura dominant, right? But athletes, musicians, actors, actresses, they have this big aura because what they're doing is on such a higher level. I hope that makes sense. When we know people are on a higher mission, we assume that they are true to a routine and they do things meticulously with purpose, right? Even if they don't all the time, that's what we assume. We don't respect people who are wishy-washy and flip-floppy and doing one thing one day and then have a whole nother set of routines or principles the next day. We like people who are congruent and true to themselves. We like people who do not waver. So what this means is you take life seriously, not in a personality sense when you're walking around like an asshole all the time, but in a stoic sense. You are serious about this life you were given. You're not just winging it like everybody else. And you can tell that from them just by the way that they carry themselves, how they enter a room, how they move about that very room. It's unavoidable. The energy absorbs you. And the last head of the dragon, this is something I've never heard anybody else talk about before, so I think I'm coining this term: core maxing. Core maxing is this fundamental truth that I have found to be true, that the biggest, most influential people in the world are those who are, if you melted them down into their very core personality traits, if you just took that core, you'd say you melted it down into a little ball, and then you somehow turned up the volume on that little ball 100%. Those people are those who stand out. Those are the ones that make it, truly make it. Keanu Reeves, he's calm, cool, collect. Aura. Conor McGregor, loud, boisterous, cocky, turned up to 100%. Aura, Michael Jordan, serious, relentless, killer on the court. Turn that up 1,000%. Aura. You hear people talk about Michael Jordan like when they saw him, they felt like they were seeing God. This is the presence that he gives off. It's incredible. Now, if you don't know what your core character traits are, it's time to get a little bit introspective. Look within, be serious, and be truthful to yourself. Who are you? What makes you you? And if you really can't find anything, you really don't know, ask some friends, ask your family. Hey, what are the things about me that, what comes to mind when you think about me? You know, my personality and just who I am. Am I, goofy? Am I serious, intellectual? I sometimes need reassurance on these things. I've actually done polls on my YouTube asking you guys, why'd you follow me? Am I funny? Is it the topic? Is it, why'd you follow me? Am I funny? Do you think I'm smart? Do you think I'm confident? What is it? Usually people just think I'm a goofball and, have some good tips. But that's cool. I'll double down on that shit. So first thing to do, figure out what makes you, you. And then figure out how to turn that volume up 100%. And also, you gotta get around people who are gonna help you be that version of you. You ever hear that quote? You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your 5 friends are losers, you're the 6th fucking loser, right? So get away from them. When you boil it down, you simply have to find out who you are and be that unapologetically. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't already, subscribe, and until next time, peace.